Hi, I'm John Egan. I'm a regional planner with Nova Scotia Power. The site visit is necessary to find out how we're going to run the power into your home, to see where we have to install poles if they're required, and the route of the wire that we have to bring into your home, if there's any trees to trim. That would mean we have to determine where property lines are. We discuss the size of service required. That would dictate the type of transformers we use, the size of wire. If you have a set of plans available, that would be a benefit. If not, we can just kind of discuss just a general construction. We don't really need much detail. Basically, where you would like to see the service come into the home, and normally we can always accommodate. The biggest difference between a new construction or a home reno, with the reno, the wire and poles and infrastructure are already in place. So basically, other than possibly changing the location of the new service on the reno, that would be the biggest difference. The customer makes the initial call, normally before construction starts, so it's ready for the construction crews. We'd like to see the driveway installed, the house footprint marked out, so we know how the wire is going to come into the home. If the footings are in, the driveway's in, then we know where everything's sitting. We can get it done with one visit. With each new service request to Nova Scotia Power, we give a 92-meter credit, which is basically any poles or wires that are required within that 92 meters to get the power to the home. If the home is further in the 92 meters, then there's a per meter contribution required. We're going to run the wire into your home from that pole right there. So basically, we'll have to see where the property lines are for your lot, so our wire doesn't run over someone else's lot. Here, your property pins are all in place. I can see where your property is well defined. So as we look down the driveway there, we're going to have to install a pole. Okay, so the pole installation will have to go here, and I marked it with a stake. This is so when our crews come to install the pole, they'll know exactly where to put it. With this length of service, where it's over 125 feet to the home, that we will need a pole installation for it. Normally we like to install it about halfway just to balance the span lengths out. So again, it'll have to go there, and also need a guy wire on it, which is also marked. Because your home is within 92 meters, there won't be any charge for the pole installation except if we hit rock. And from the look of the terrain here, the rock may be an issue. So if rock breaking is required, we'll give you that option of either for you to hire someone to break the hole open, or we'll send one of our contractors to break the hole open at your cost. For this installation, we'll probably require some of these trees to be cut. So we'll need these couple of trees cut down and along the edge here, so when the wire goes to the corner of the home, those trees won't interfere with it. Okay, the next thing we have to look at is where the wire is going to run into the home. So in this situation here, the garage is going to be on this end. So this is the end we'll bring the service in on. The wires won't be crossing over the driveway too much. The temporary service is set up here. That'll make it easy for when you need permanent power to the home, where we'll be able to just swing that wire right over into the home. Normally, temporary power is required for the home construction, so we can discuss that when we're on site. Normally, you have two options for a temporary service. You can build one of our, like a wooden tripod structure, or you can mount it to a tree, and we can run that wire right to it. That'll give you power during construction. The structure is put up or built by the electrician. Normally, the electrician looks after the temporary installation, and then that's also has to be inspected. Tree trimming for new services is the customer's responsibility. Depending on the type of wire, we have different trim widths. For a high voltage line, it's 20 feet on both sides, and for a low voltage service into the home, it's normally 8 to 10 feet away from the wire. And again, the customer is responsible for tree trimming. Normally after a site visit, if there's any questions that the customer has regarding either scheduling or any of the to-dos that he has to do, the best place to go is through the customer care center. I say normally after we leave the site, sometimes he may have to contact me. I normally leave a card. Most other correspondence is through the customer care center. So if he has a contribution that he has to send in, or an easement that has to be registered, then he can normally go through the customer care center.